I'm Dr. Jill Elliot, and I work at West Village Vet in the Village on 14th Street and 8th Avenue. And I am a holistic veterinarian, and I also do conventional medicine. But my specialty is holistic, and I like to use holistic medicine whenever possible to solve problems before using the conventional, or use them together when it's needed. So today I was asked to talk about chiropractic that I use in my practice. And chiropractic is not exactly the term to describe what I do. It's really called VOM, which is called Veterinary Orthopedic Manipulation. I use this little tool. It's called an activator. And I guess I can turn it that way. And it's used by all chiropractors to treat humans. And what we do is we actually go down the spine. And I have a little volunteer here, so I can show you what I do. So we go down, we go in the back of the ears, we go down the spine, we go on either side of the hips, and then we go up the spine. And I do that 3 times. What that does is it corrects any imbalance or any out of alignment in the joints in the spine. It's also good for the knees if you have a cruciate rupture or something like that. It realigns the spine. So if you have a misalignment, if you have a subluxation where the bones are not set exactly the way it should, and it's like that, this little tool fires at the exact speed and force that doesn't push the bone to do anything, but it causes the muscle that holds the bone to fire and bring it back into alignment. So that's what I'm doing. I usually recommend 5 treatments for any problem, and they're spaced out. I do 1 a week for 3 weeks, skip a week, do another one, skip 2 weeks, do the last one. And that usually holds for a good 3 to 6 months. So if there's a real problem, a bad problem, I usually have a patient come back for at least 1 treatment every 3 to 6 months. Dr. Inman, who I studied laser with, low-level laser, brought the activator into his practice because he felt it extended the benefit of the laser and also provided additional help for these animals with spinal problems and other problems that it helps with. So it's excellent for anything musculoskeletal, obviously, back, spine, neck, but it also helps tremendously with bladder problems, incontinence, or when the bladder is unable to push out, it has atonia. It also helps with constipation. It is amazing for these kitty cats that are constantly constipated, and not after they're constipated a week, but if you come in a day or 2 later, often you'll do a treatment and the cat, unfortunately, on the way home may have a movement in the box, which people aren't happy about, but they're happy the cat went to the bathroom. It establishes healthy neurons, healthy neural connection. And again, it fixes any subluxations in the spine. It's a very simple tool, and it looks like it does nothing, and it takes maybe 5 minutes to do it. Dr. Inman taught this course with laser and chiropractic together. Half the class was chiropractors, human chiropractors, and the other half was veterinarians. And basically the principles are the same, although the spots you might use for a human might be a little different if you were treating different problems. But they were all there. They were very eager and anxious. When I came back from the course, and he gave us an estimate what to charge, and I just felt like I don't feel comfortable charging for this. I'm not sure if it really works. I have to test it out myself. So for 2 weeks in my practice when I came back, I said to all my patients, I'm going to do this for free, no charge. The only thing I'd like is for you to please tell me, if you want me to do it, please tell me, call me in a day or 2 or 3, tell me what you've seen, what you haven't seen, any improvement, no improvement. Just let me know so I can gauge whether it's worth doing it. I had this little dog come in. She was probably 4 or 5 years old. And her problem was that she would sublux, her shoulders would go out. So she'd be walking along for no reason. All of a sudden her shoulders would be like that. And she'd be walking, and then it would go back to normal, and then she'd walk a little, and then later in the day it would happen again. And it happened throughout the day. Often it kept happening. So I did it. I gave her treatment, and the owner called me in 3 or 4 days, and she said, you know what? It's totally stopped. She's not doing it. I said, you're kidding. She said, no, totally stopped. So I said, we'll come back for a few more treatments so we know that it'll hold. And sure enough, that dog was fine. And she used to come in maybe every 6 months for 1 treatment. I had a woman come in with a 20-year-old cat, was my client normally for years and years and years. Her cat was healthy as far as we knew. It had a few early kidney things and stuff, but basically it was a healthy cat. And it was a cat that slept all the time, which you'd expect. And it used to be an outdoor cat. The woman had a little yard and the cat would go out in the yard, but it didn't really go out, and it'd sleep on the couch and then sleep on the porch and sleep on the couch and sleep on it. So we did the blood work. The blood work was actually not too bad. I did a chiropractic treatment on the cat. And the woman called me a day or two later and she said, you know what? Matilda is like scratching at the door. She wants to go out. I let her out. She was running around the yard chasing a bird. You're kidding. And then my own personal cat, I had a 17-year-old cat, Coconut, who again was sleeping all the time. She had kidney disease. She wasn't jumping up and down anymore. And I used to do treatments on her every few months. And as soon as I did the treatment, she'd like get all this energy back. She'd start jumping up, playing with her toy. It was really amazing. It's not only good for animals that have problems. It's really good because this little tool can find and fix a problem 6 to 8 months before it will show up on an x-ray and before the animal will start crying. So I recommend for all my supposedly healthy patients, they do a treatment at least once or twice a year. They come in for their annual, let them do it at that time, come back in 6 months, do it again if they want to, or at least do it once a year. And it can prevent lots of problems. Also for little kitties and puppies, I usually recommend they do it at least 2 or 3 treatments, just because coming out of the birth canal, the dog can be misaligned and you're never going to know. But they say the research shows that Dr. Inman did, that puppies and kittens that start out using chiropractic and use it throughout their life live and have a healthier life for 28% more than the average cat or dog. It's not invasive, it's easy, it's not expensive, and it may save thousands of dollars in vet bills, who knows? So I highly recommend it. Animals don't complain, so you don't know if they have a problem. Like, let's say my own cat didn't complain, just slept. The 20-year-old cat just slept. They just don't complain. I highly recommend it.